After a year's romantic involvement, Miguel Reyes Palencia, who was 29 at the time, the scion of a landowning family, married a local schoolteacher named Margarita Chica Salas, who was 22, on Saturday the 20th at 7 a.m. He loved her, but had also been pressured into marriage by threats from Margarita's older brothers, who were not twins, Jose and Victor Manuel. They were commercial fishermen, who had heard slanderous rumors about the young couple. At the wedding night, Miguel got completely drunk, then slept the entire day and night following the festivities. Early on Sunday the 21st, he awoke in a bedroom at the Chica household, saw Margarita naked at his side, and found out she was not a virgin. He beat her, demanding her deflower his name, but she refused. He then returned her to Mrs. Chica, who, on her knees, implored him to wait a few weeks in order to avert scandal. Margarita's brother, Victor, now showed up and asked. She named Cayetano Gentil and burst into tears. Cayetano, who was 24, tall, elegant, and good-looking, the son of successful Italian immigrants, was a third-year medical student. He and Margarita had been engaged once in the past, though this had not prevented him and Miguel Reyes Palencia from being drinking partners and close friends. On the morning he was to die, Cayetano went down to the river port to see Miguel and Margarita off on their honeymoon trip, but the couple, strangely, had never showed up. There he also posted a letter to Garcia Marquez's father, Elegio, in Cartagena, and ran into Garcia Marquez's brother Luis and sister Margot, who invited him over for breakfast. Cayetano graciously declined the offer, he being due at the family farm El Verdun that same day. He then went by to see his sweetheart Nadia Nasser, not yet aware that Jose and Victor Chico were at the general store across from his two-story house, waiting to hack him to death. A crowd was gathering near Cayetano's home. His mother, Julieta, was inside, having been warned about the death threat by a little boy she knew. Seeing one of the Chica's brothers running towards the house, but not her son approaching rapidly from the opposite corner, she slammed shut and locked both doors. Cayetano arrived at the front door and started banging and screaming. Julieta, thinking it was the pursuers, scurried inside for protection. Cayetano now fled, curiously bypassing the hotel next door, where there was a policeman, and dashed into the following house, but Victor reached his prey and knifed him 14 times. The victim managed to rise up and walk home, his entrails dangling out. He died there amid relatives, saying, "I'm innocent." The Chica brothers turned themselves in immediately, spent a year in jail, and were finally acquitted. Meanwhile, the Chica family moved away, and Margarita, feeling disgraced, did not venture out for 2 years. Miguel, in turn, remarried, became an insurance agent, fathered 12 children, and nourished no regrets on the matter. Thereafter, he saw Margarita just twice, first for the annulment, and years later on some obscure financial question. The townsfolk mostly thought Cayetano guiltless. The crime would have a lasting impact on young Garcia Marquez, who was in Cartagena at the time. He knew all the parties involved. Cayetano had been a friend since childhood, and Julieta was godmother to one of his younger brothers. Chronicle of a Death Foretold reconstructs an actual murder that took place in Sucre, Colombia in 1951. In an interview for the Argentine newspaper La Nación, Garcia Marquez declared that Cayetano Gentil Chimiento Santiago Nasser in the novel had been one of his childhood friends. Similarly to the way the murder takes place in the novel, in broad daylight, the two brothers knifed Cayetano to death in the town's plaza. In spite of the parallels, Chronicle of a Death Foretold uses an anonymous town and fictional names for the characters. In this sense, the narrative is not a chronicle. Garcia Marquez did not talk to any of the witnesses, nor did he use the real names and places as a chronicle would when recounting past events.